Welcome to this session on managing urbanization in growing India. I'm honored to be moderating today's session, and we have an exceptional group of leaders from distinct cities who are amongst us, and each of them is playing a pivotal role in shaping the urban landscape of our country. As we all are aware, urbanization in India is at a growth trajectory, presenting both opportunities, possibilities, as well as challenges. We have the dividend of population, where we talk about whether it is the overall population or the overall urban population, the GDP contribution, and given the projections, we are going to be having some of the fastest growing cities in the world from India. The topmost metropolitan cities in the next 25 years are going to be again from India. So where does all of this lead to? What are the learnings that we have drawn from the urban growth story of India, from the investments, the infrastructure impetus, the citizen-friendly services, while maintaining resilience and sustainability of these projects? With these questions in mind, we look towards our distinguished panelists who bring a vast experience, a vast wealth of experience and insight from their roles in whether it is smart cities or niche sectors like water rejuvenation, waste management, heritage development, environmental conservation. And together, all of us, we will aim to delve into some of these questions about economic growth, urban growth, paradigm shift in this growth story of the country, climate change management. Thank you for joining all of us, and without further ado, let us now get into the panel discussion. And I would like to bring in Mr. Lalchhuangkima, who is the CEO of Aizawl Smart City, into the conversation first. And sir, given your diverse experience in various administrative roles, how do you envision Aizawl Smart City contributing to the economic and the urban growth of Mizoram, given that you are a lighthouse development in the northeast area?
Okay, good morning, madam. Thank you very much for providing an opportunity of this kind of a very precious discussion. First of all, what I'd like to point out is that before I dwell on those questions, I'd like to narrate one point which I experienced. I think Smart City Mission, I think this is one of the most beautiful projects the government of India has ever conceptualized. Given the situation we are in, the mainstream or the hilly area, the project, the scheme can be redesigned based on our own requirement. I think this is the beauty of this Smart City Mission. And based on my experience as administrative experience, you said, what I felt in our state is one of the main problems we are facing is unemployment problem. And as we all know that we are experiencing growing urbanization along with the growing economy. Actually, this growing economy is coming with many challenges. The biggest challenges we face is unemployment problem. Then the Smart City Mission, at the time when it was conceptualized, when the plan was prepared, it was designed in order to provide opportunity or employment opportunity to especially the youth and the women. For that purpose, currently we are constructing one big market in which we'll provide around 1,100 vendors, vegetable sellers, will be having a stall in that big market. And it is so designed with an advanced technology that even the cold storage, I think it will be powered by solar power. And this is also incorporated in that design, in that plan. And after the completion of this project, I think we'll be able to provide an employment opportunity to the around 1,100 women and young girls. This is the number one which I like to reiterate. And number two is we are also developing Mizoram Startup Hub. We are calling Mizoram Startup Hub This will be looked after by Mizoram Startup Mission Society. Actually, the building has already been completed, and also the whole project has already been handed over to the Mizoram Startup Mission Society. In this startup hub will act as a center for exchange of knowledge, ideas, and all the mentors, and even the investor, the government, all the, I think almost same like what I can say is just like Pragati Maidan. Because the entrepreneurs, they will showcase their experience, their innovation, what they have. And those youngsters who do not know how to kickstart the business also will learn how to start the business from there. Because there will be someone who will guide them. And madam, this is also one of the very beautiful project. And the third point, it may be too long, I don't know, but let me take just a few more minutes. The third point is that since there are many young boys who are willing to pursue their career in this sport professional, we are constructing 6 football playground and 1 badminton indoor stadium, in which there will be around 6 badminton courts. Even popular Gopichan, one of the most famous badminton player in India, also he has visited our indoor stadium. He said that after the completion of this construction, you'll be able to host even national level tournament also. Using this smart city mission project, we are trying to reshape, or we are trying to provide an opportunity for the youngsters when they are pursuing their career. That is, I think, one of the beauty of this project, and from my administrative experience also, that's what I like to say. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. It's very heartening to see how urban development infrastructure projects mobilize the economic growth and also inclusivity of the youth within a city. So this is one of the shining examples that we have, and I'm very glad, sir, that you shared all these details with us. Keeping on the theme of the same aspects, I'd like to move on to Ashish Pathak ji, who's from Ujjain Smart City. In the last one and a half year, all of us have heard about the Mahakal Corridor project, which has been one of the shining examples of how urban rejuvenation has taken place. So, sir, I'd like to bring that into the conversation on how retrofitting projects give an impetus to the economic as well as urban vitality of a region. So could you tell us how the Ujjain Corridor project has impacted the city's overall urban development, and also it has created a significance on the economic rejuvenation of the city?
Good afternoon, ma'am, and thanks to giving us this opportunity to share the views and showcase our city's project. In October 2022, when Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated the Mahakal Lok project, after that the kind of transformation in the city's economy is really, we were not expecting that much of boom, and it is a good example that how a project can transform the economy of the city. Earlier the visitors for in Mahakal temple were 20 to 25,000 per day, and on weekend that number increased to 50,000. But now every day around 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakh visitors are visiting Ujjain, and on weekend this number increased touched to 3 lakh. So you can easily imagine when the footfall is increased. So definitely I am just putting a simple logic. If somebody is coming in Ujjain and spending only 500 rupees in the, but like to purchasing anything for the meal, for the transportation and something. So our logic was very simple, although some studies are going on from some pioneer institutions also, but it's a direct 3 to 4,000 crores per year's pumping in city's economy, and the impact is really very visible there. And second thing is that after Mahakal Lok, initially the corridor size was, the temple area was just 2.7 hectares, and it was very tough to manage the visitors there. And we remember an incident of 1996 when 20,000 people came in the temple and a mishap happened there, and in a stampede 36 pilgrims died. So our basic idea was that we have to make a corridor so that could be capable enough to facilitate around 2 to 3 lakh people per day. And I can say that our purpose is really short and we can manage. On this 31st and 1st January, the number of visitors was 7 to 8 lakh. Actually, we have an AI-based system there. So a head counting system is there. So we can give the exact figure. So on 31st December and 1st of January, 8 lakh people came to the temple and they were a very smooth darshan and puja they have conducted there. So it's an infrastructure project as well as it is booming the economy of the city. A part of this, I would like to mention that after this project, lots of public sector investment and private sector investment is coming in the Ujjain. In this year's budget speech, Honorable Finance Minister launched the scheme of Unity Mall. So it was basically has to be established in the capital of the state. But due to this project and that highest footfall, our case has been entertained and now the second Unity Mall of the country is going to be established in Ujjain. And we got 272 crore rupees from the central government. So that's an example that how a project can interconnect with the other infrastructure development and projects. We are getting 800, we are developing 800 crores, a very modern railway station in Ujjain, a foot-over bridge and other projects are there from the public sector as well as from the private sector. So this is the economic impact as well as the infrastructure impact and how we are facilitating to the visitors.
Yes.
So that's a good example.
Thank you, sir, for sharing. I personally visited the Ujjain temple, I think twice since October 2022. And I personally, despite being a hardcore ground professional, was impressed to see the ground change which has happened. And from the unfortunate incidents of 1996 to 8 lakh visitors per day 3 weeks back is a commendable experience in resilience planning and change management which has taken place. And these are the kind of examples which will lead the urbanization growth story of our country. So thank you, sir, for sharing that. I'd now like to move to Ms. Syeda Afreen Banu Bellary, ma'am. She is the Managing Director of Belagavi Smart City. And recently, all of us who are following the Smart City project updates would have surely heard about the significance and the pace which the Belagavi Smart City has picked up. So ma'am, with your experience and with your leadership, I would like to bring you into the discussion. Your focus has been on the participatory development in waste management. How has citizen engagement contributed to the success of these initiatives? Because it's only with inclusivity and citizen participation that change management can take place in urban areas.
Thank you, ma'am. I would thank Mahua and NIUA and this India Expo of Smart Cities and Convergence Expo for providing an opportunity to showcase the achievements done by a small city, not metros and all that. A small city like Belagavi to showcase its achievement to the World Forum, not only to India, also to the world. Ours, I visited Ujjain Mahakal during our visit to Indore to get an award from Honorable President of India. I visited Ujjain Mahakal. It is really a big project. Compared to that, Belagavi projects are not that much big. All our projects are within 50 crores of investment, and we have taken 102 projects, of which we have completed 96 projects. I am proud to say here, ma'am, that we are the receivers of United Nations Inclusive Award in 2022 because Belagavi's projects are incredibly inclusive. covering all the sectors of the society and also all the sections of the society. We are having projects for senior citizens, we are having projects for women entrepreneurs, we are having for projects for kids, kids and adults also, for measuring their cognitive abilities, and we are having project for physically and mentally challenged kids. All our projects are inclusive in toto. That's why we have also received South Zone Best Smart City Award in Aizawl 2022 in September 2023, madam. I would like to mention, as you told me, participatory approach. Participatory approach is basically of three types. It is before planning a project, participation of the citizens, participation of the end users is required. And second one is during the implementation project. Implementation period of the project, we require participation, we require citizen engagement plans. And after completion of the project also, we require continuous citizen participation in each project. One of our very good project is, all our projects are from the viewpoint of poor and needy persons and below poverty line people. We have targeted, as ours is a government company, we have targeted those peoples and the end users and the citizens of Belagavi. Our first project to mention is Mahila Market, that is Khawkatta. Just like as Indore Chappan is very famous, but Belgaum Khawkatta is not famous. I invite all the delegates present here to Belagavi to visit our Mahila Market, that is Khawkatta, food kiosk. It is having 56 shops. All shops are owned by women entrepreneurs. And no one shop is replica of other. And it is not only food kiosk, it is having local made craft materials also. Saris are there, jute bags are there, and artistic things are there, madam. And it is one of its kind in Belagavi. It is Khawkatta and it is costing only 1 crore 50 lakhs. And another our project is Jyotiba Phule Park, Jyotiba Phule Garden. We have utilized this park as improved the open spaces also. Senior citizens and public and kids can use that place as a park and open space. And also a part of the park is utilized as a therapy center for mentally and mentally challenged kids. As you know, today the therapy for the mentally challenged kids is very expensive. So that's why we have given a free therapy center for mentally challenged kids. And there it is not a therapy center, it is education, it is recreation, and also it is a therapy center. We have a tie-up with the local, our KLE hospital, from where physiotherapists are coming and giving therapy to the kids. And I want to tell a story, a small story about this incident, real incident. Before 2 years, a kid was not able to speak and not able to interact with other kids. When our national media team visited our Belagavi Smart City projects and to this therapy center, they asked a question to that kid, "Can you sing a song for me?" That too in English. "Can you talk?" He told, "I can talk." And he didn't tell anything. He sang a song, that is "Happy Birthday to You." He knows that "Happy Birthday to You" is a English song. That is a response. That is a response of a mentally retarded child for the project. That is why I think for urbanization, fulcrum is nothing but the policies of the government. We can balance the development and urbanization, which gives the results, results in the sense of end user sense. Here the benefited child and the joy of their parents is really worth mentioning, madam. In the same way, all our other projects are, as sir say, is regarding generating employment. We are having a skill development lab in government skill development center in Belagavi, which is providing more skill developed trainings and generating more services. And the same way you told, you asked about the waste management. Now cities 2 has been launched, and we are the, not only we are the strong contender, but we are also the very confident and very hopeful contender, as our project name is Vishwas. Vishwas, it is Vishwas of Belagavi. It is vision to implement integrated solid waste management and sustainable project. It is, abbreviation is Vishwas, madam. We are developing, we have taken already a citizen survey with Google Sheets. Around 20,000 responses we have got. Our project is based on the end users' needs and requirements. And with end users' requirement, we have made our Cities 2 project, that is our Vishwas, and it is having 5 components, madam. It is 100 TPD compressed biogas plant and 100 TPD construction and demolition waste processing unit. These two are keeping in point of revenue generation. And third one is 5 TPD biomedical incineration plant. It is environmental friendly and it is people friendly. As biomedical waste is very hazardous, that's why we have taken that. And IEC activities also we are conducting, and we are having the 30 waste segregating compacting stations.
Okay.
And here the participatory approach, madam, first of its kind, I think all over world. We are the first in Karnataka, which has included transgenders, as we have included women empowerment in our project in Mahila Market. In Cities 2, in our Vishwas, we are including transgenders in our project. We are having their willingness also. We are tied up with their association, that is Humanity Foundation, and Karnataka is the first state which has given 1% of reservation to transgenders in all government employments. Based on that, we are planning to give these solid waste segregating compacting stations to these transgenders and employing them and bringing them to the mainstream and making them economically self-sustainable. That is the one of the pilots of our project, madam. And we are in, sorry ma'am, another 2 minutes. We are also planning to incorporate some pilots which are not only revenue generating, which are also reducing the waste. Our waste will not go to landfills. That is, one pilot is using the sanitary cups in women hostels and in government hostels. We are providing free of cost sanitary cups instead of sanitary napkins, and we are collecting human hairs by giving some plastic bags in women hostels, ladies hostels. This will help the rag pickers' life easier. Belagavi is the first city who has identified rag pickers and given identity cards to them. All rag pickers are women rag pickers, madam. These are our pilot projects. Thank you, and hoping we are having Vishwas to get our cities 2 project sanctioned, and in 2027 we will fuel your vehicles with our Vishwas biogas plants, and with our biogas plants we will fuel your vehicles, madam. That is our Vishwas of Belagavi. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for explaining in great detail those projects and initiatives which have taken, which has led you to be a recipient of the United Nations Inclusivity Award last year. So this shows that how even it's not necessary that our metropolitan and class 1 towns have to lead the brigade of change. It can come from the grassroots level, it can come from a smaller town, it has to come through leadership initiatives and change management only. So while we are on the subject of urbanization, one of the most important aspects is climate assessment, climate management. So I would like to invite Shri Sanjay Kolte ji, who is the CEO of Pune Smart City, into the discussion. Sir, Pune's achievements in climate assessment and smart initiatives are very impressive. We've been reading a lot about it in the press lately. So how has Pune Smart City addressed the challenges posed by climate change, and what role has the citizen participation played in it?
Very good morning to all. The climate action initiatives in Pune city began with creation of a policy framework by the Pune Municipal Corporation and Pune Smart City SPV. It started from creating Pune Climate Action Plan of 2022. Even prior to that, Pune City Resilience Strategy was prepared in 2019, and allied with this another Pune Clean Air Action Plan. And on the basis of this policy framework, all the activities which are related towards climate sustainability and environmental conservation began in the city. Major initiatives which were taken up by Pune City and Municipal Corporation include the Smart E-Bus project in the transportation sector. The sustainable mobility was taken up as a priority since 2019, when the city decided to switch over to electrification of its transport. And so far almost 23% of the fleet of the city has been converted into electricity and e-buses. So 473 e-buses are plying in the city, and more than 4 crore kilometers have been traveled by these buses, and lot of significant reduction in the TCO2 percentage of the city has been improved, besides other advantages of reducing noise pollution and other aspects of transportation. On the energy side, again, introduction of LED lights in the street light segment was done on a big scale. In complete street lights of the city, more than 1,90,000 lights of the city were replaced to LEDs, and reduction in the energy demand of 60% was achieved by way of this initiative. That was again biggest LED project on PPP mode in the country that time in 2017. Solar rooftop project has been introduced to a large extent in all the municipal institutions of schools, hospitals, dispensaries, and more than 1.3 lakh crore units of solar energy are produced every year. Clean fuel initiatives and the EV sector is being encouraged by the municipal corporation, with all the creating the ecosystem of charging infrastructure and promoting the registration of EVs to a great extent. They have aimed to increase EV registration up to 25% by the end of this year. Metro rail corridor has already been implemented, and 1/3 part of it is ready for inauguration, and soon Pune city will be having 33 kilometers of metro, and that will again add to sort of a clean transportation for the city. Solid waste management is another big sector where the city has done a lot with 100% collection, segregation, and trying to either convert the wet waste into energy and recycle the dry waste. 100% of the waste is now being processed. So that is again a focus area which earned the credit for the city in the Climate Smart Cities Assessment Framework. On the background of these initiatives, Pune city was recognized twice in the Climate Smart assessment framework 1.0 and 2.0 also, and the city was recognized as most livable city twice in 2020 and 21. Green building initiatives are implemented to a great extent, and the municipal corporation has a policy to incentivize green buildings. Recently, the city was graded as platinum grading was given to the city in terms of green building footprints, which they have achieved in the city so far. So that was another achievement, and we are moving on in this direction to maximize green building footprints of the city. River rejuvenation, at the same time, sewage treatments are also the focus areas in which the city, with the central assistance and Japanese assistance, we are moving ahead on a great scale and trying to improve the rivers and cleaning the river waters and bringing about the sustainability for the city.
So thank you, sir, by sharing with us that if a common theme of climate assessment can be with its framework and measuring matrix, when it is applied to different economic themes, how can that lead to a change and help us manage the urbanization story in a more effective manner? So this is why I think these are very important aspects which Patil sir, Kolte sir has just shared with us, and most of our audience members and let's say even if there are any representation from academia here, these are the examples by which what we are taught in textbooks, how to replicate them on the ground. So this is one of the leading examples that we have. I would like to now bring in our last panelist, last but not the least, Mr. Ramveer Tanwar, who's also known as the Pond Man of India. So, Ranveer ji, your commitment to water conservation is inspiring. So, would you like to let all of us know that how do you envision scaling up initiatives like the Jal Chopal so that it can have a broader impact across various states and regions in India?
Yeah. First of all, thank you so much, Nikita ji, for giving me this opportunity. In fact, I supposed to be in the previous session, but due to some reason I could not be part of that, which was about the water rejuvenation. And as sir said in previous session that we have polluted almost our water bodies in our cities. So I agree with him. In parallel of smart city or development, as sir said that we have to make the balance by climate or climate actions and sustainable development. So there are some practices or there are some responsibilities of NGOs, residents and the common people. So they can make balance about the development and their to protect their natural resources, because वो जो विकास की आंधी कई बार ऐसी आती है कि वो पूरे natural resources को उड़ा के ले जाती है, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे cities में कहीं ना कहीं हमें देखने को भी मिल रहा है. So we make aware to the people how we can protect our water bodies, or how we can do, what activities we can do to make these developments sustainable development. So like we have initiated one event, or like we have one initiative called Selfie with Pond. Selfie with Pond is to identify the people or residents who are pro-environment or who are sensitive about the water bodies. So in this challenge we ask them to just visit your nearby water body, take selfie with that water body and upload it on the social media with that selfie, with hashtag selfie with pond. And we got inspired from actually selfie with daughter, which was promoted by our Honorable Prime Minister in 2014-15. So by doing so, first of all, we get information about the water bodies, like what is the actual condition of these water bodies. And people also write about what is in their minds about that water body, what actually they want to do, what actually they want to contribute to the municipal corporation or smart cities. because smart cities, the municipal corporations are the like उसमें भी जो लोग हैं वो हमारे बीच से ही बैठ के वहाँ पे गए हैं और हम अगर सभी लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा अपना बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस उनके साथ शेयर करें तो आई थिंक दे बेटर कर सकते हैं वो. सो दैट इज़ द इनिशिएटिव कि वो अपने सजेशंस वाटर बॉडीज़ के बारे में कैसे दे सकते हैं. सेकंड वन इज़ द वाटर बजटिंग एंड द वाटर बजटिंग वो कैसे कर सकते हैं. लाइक देर आर मैनी वेज कि वो अपना वाटर कंजप्शंस रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं और दे कैन जस्ट यूज़ सम टाइप ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स जिससे कि उनकी आसपास की वाटर बॉडीज़ पोल्यूट ना हो. बिकॉज नाउ आई सी द मोस्ट ऑफ द वाटर बॉडी लुक लाइक ए लैंडफिल साइट्स, है ना, दे लुक लाइक ए सीवेज टैंक. सो उनको कैसे बर्ड्स के लिए, डक्स के लिए अप्रोप्रिएट बनाना है, क्योंकि वी सेंसिटाइज पीपल कि दीज आर नॉट फॉर ओनली ह्यूमन यूज़. There are many other living species including the migratory birds, other like aquatic birds, domestic aquatic birds, other living species which depend on these water bodies. So in parallel of development we have to take care all these things. So we conduct such a type of events within the cities जो कि लोगों को समझाए उसके बारे में. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this small changes, you know, whether it is using the power of social media or just creating an impact. Even we do keep hearing about these viral trends. Maybe some of these can be used for making an urbanization a better story within our country. So that is an example for that. I'd like to again come back to Shri Lalchhuangkima. Sir, can you share some your insights where you know you have a unique cultural and geographical characteristics of your city? So how have this been incorporated while managing urbanization? Because we have a very distinct geographic region, we have a very distinct cultural region, and unless and until we give weightage to these aspects, we cannot move forward. So how have you incorporated these aspects in your city planning?
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, so we are facing a huge list of difficulties and challenges. I don't know whether it will be interesting for the audience also, so by narrating my own difficulties or my own challenges. But I'd like to point out only three huge challenges which we are facing. Number one is for being a hilly region. Since Aizawl city is located in the hilly regions, we are facing lots of difficulties because of the space constraint. Whenever we are trying to execute the project or whenever we are trying to implement the project, we are always facing a problem from the local people as well as even the municipal administration also. Because for any construction work, we have to obtain prior permission from the municipal corporation. For that also, because of this geological survey, geological study report, that takes a very long time because of this space constraint and because of this being a hilly region. That is number one. And then the second point is, ma'am, since we are in the monsoon region areas, working season is very short. That may be a little bit surprising for the audience also. Working season, what I mean to say is that non-rainy season. Barely we are having around 4 to 5 months out of 12 months. That's why we are lagging behind other smart cities also in the completion of so many projects. And that is the ground problem, that is practical challenges we are facing on the ground. Then the third point is because of our remoteness, we are facing lots of difficulties in transportation. Most of the construction material are taken from outside the state. Just to cite an example, one example is that recently under one of our projects, we need to install mechanical parking. The parking for which can accommodate around 13 four-wheelers. That materials need to be transported from Pune city. From Pune to Aizawl, it takes almost 1 month just for the transportation, even without taking care of any other technicalities. That's why we are facing lots of difficulties in those kind of transportation and even in execution also. Ma'am, actually it is a long list, but let it be enough for the time being.
So, sir, what you have touched upon is a very crucial aspect in urbanization, which is supply chain management. We have the suppliers in one end of the country, whereas the requirement is in the other end, and how in a state, in the northeast region, the challenges of whether it is climate, whether it is accessibility, in spite of that, overcoming these hurdles and then leading and becoming a smart city in itself is commendable, sir. So I thank you for sharing that and being very practical about your remarks. Thank you so much. Going back to Ashish Pathak ji, sir, the Ujjain Park Smart application is a very commendable initiative. So how has technology played a role in managing such aspects of urban development with respect to Ujjain's landscape? If you would like to share your experience on this, please.
Thank you. As we talked in our first question, like in Ujjain now the influx of the visitor is increased. So that was equally a challenge for us to make a good parking facility. And it was always in back of our mind when we were developing that corridor. And a comprehensive mobility plan study has been done by the smart city. And we estimated that around 2,000 ECS facility will be required to accommodate that footfall and that increased number of the visitors. Those who visited Ujjain, they probably know that there are 5 entrance gates to enter in the Mahakal corridor. So instead of making a single parking on one gate or on one place, we prefer to go for separate parking for every gate. So in these 5 parking, we create 2,000 ECS facilities of the parking, and we integrated these parking with the app like Park Ujjain app. So if you are coming from Indore, you have not to go from one parking to another. You can you can see the bucket slot of the parking, in which parking slot is bucket, and the near one you can choose and you can book online. So the basic purpose of integration was if we are making parking facilities for all surrounding area of the temple, the traffic pressure and the vehicle pressure will be not segregated on one point. And second, integration is very helpful because you have not to go from one parking, and if it is full, then you have to come back for the other parking. So you can easily see online, you can book your slot, and in this way it is really very useful. And after that Unity Mall project, in our ABD area, we are planning to create around 4,000 ECS parking facility, because our target is upcoming Kumbh. In last Kumbh Mela in 2016, around 70 million, 7 crore visitors came to Ujjain in 1 month period. This year we are expecting like 10 to 12 crore, means 100 to 120 million people will visit to Ujjain in 1 month. So the major challenge is this. And this way, this corridor, parking facilities and technological integration, like integration through the technology, is going to help very much to make the crowd management and to facilitate the visitors, I guess.
So, sir, it will be very important that at the end of the month we learn from you what were the key takeaways on how we integrated technology for crowd management, and because this is something which can be replicated across other cities as well. So I'm sure when we meet at another forum, maybe the next time, I will be raising this question with you, and I would love to have this discussion. So just in the paucity of time, I'll just go across to Bellary madam. Just one short comment on how do you, you shared a lot of examples and projects and initiatives with us. How do you see that one project which can become a role model for other cities?
Not on. It is on. Okay.
Just one project which you think from your smart city which can become a role model for other cities.
Yes, ma'am. As I have told in previous section, my role model projects. Now I will tell you one more project, that is we have invested our smart city mission amount in government hospitals. We have taken 3 hospitals. One is district hospital, that is a tertiary care hospitals, and another one is a 30-bedded hospital, maternity hospital, and a 10-bedded hospital in suburban area. And before joining to Smart City, I was in health department in district hospital in Belgavi Institute of Medical Education, that is BIMS Medical College, attached with a teaching hospital, that is civil hospital. There we have given high class ICUs and ALS, advanced life saving ambulance, and also provided the very renovated the ICUs and present infrastructure with 3 crores, madam. During COVID, it was the hospital worked just like corporate hospitals. It was for needy and poor people. Also, the maternity hospital helped us to bring the mother mortality rate and infant mortality rate to its worst.
That's really good, madam, that the pandemic affected the lives of each and every one. So in that, how the health system was taken care of. So
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
for sharing that example.
Thank you.
Kolte sir, same question to you. Some of the initiatives in your smart city, like the ICCC and the smart e-bus system, have been very much appreciated all across the country. So any example from your city which you believe can be a role model where the other cities can learn also and maybe imbibe it also within their city strategy plan?
Yes. Yes. Pune, since Pune Smart City was the first round city in the Smart City mission, we pioneered many projects, initiatives, right from ICCC, the Smart E-Bus, the Smart Street LED lighting, and so I would definitely mention Smart E-Bus project because we were the first city to have a biggest fleet of e-buses in the country. And the Pune model of gross cost contract, GCC model of, it's a kind of PPP model on which the electrification of public transport has been done. And that has been now taken up at the national level also. And most of the transport authorities are trying to electrify their transport through GCC model of electric buses. So on that count, I would definitely mention Smart E-Bus project was a pioneer kind of project where the transport authority and the private operator, they have shared their responsibilities and made it a kind of sustainable arrangement of running public transport, because e-buses are inherently, they are costly. The initial capital cost of procurement of buses is very high, and we also had exploited some financial models also, or funding resources from 2-3 kinds of resources, like funds from the Smart City Mission for as a subsidy for procurement of buses, funds from the FAME2 project of the Government of India, and the Municipal Corporation funding. So these 3 fundings we leveraged for bringing about this Smart E-Bus project. ICCC was also first of its kind, which was launched in 2019 itself in Pune. And so the data-based or informed decision making began from that, and almost 800 plus data sets are operating in Pune city for various municipal related administration and city administration. So that is again helping the city administration to a great extent.
So thank you again. That is again a very relevant example how convergence of funds can lead to better fleet management for the mobility of the citizens. So that would be a very relevant example when we are talking about urban mobility solutions. I will like to go to Tanwar ji for the last question in this panel, because I'm also being mindful of the time. Tanwar ji, you have been speaking at various forums and you have been leading the change management, some of the initiatives which you just mentioned. So what role do you see that such initiatives can lead towards influencing policies at a national level? Could you kindly elaborate on that?
बिल्कुल like we have taken some initiatives about especially about the water body rejuvenations and the urban forest because we see in a city hospital, park, gym, sadak, road, everything, but the thing we cannot see is the forest because both things cannot be cannot stay together. So we took an initiative to develop urban forests because we see that we do plantation alongside the roads, but after 10 to 15 years we have to cut again these trees because of winding the road. So we are suggesting to the government, to the states and as well as central governments to to conserve or to have some sports or some areas जिनको हम एक तरीके से फॉरेस्ट के लिए ही पूरा उनको छोड़ दें, है ना, वी कैन से द आइसोलेटेड एरियाज, है ना, विच विल बी फुल्ली यूज फॉर द अर्बन फॉरेस्ट ओनली. सो द वन थिंग, another thing, we are developing some water bodies in as part of which are part of smart cities and the urbanization, but the thing we are doing them concretizing, है ना. So we request many times to the governments that we should make them more natural, है ना. We should develop some pond islands, है ना, which attract the aquatic birds because we have to make the balance this. And so our many initiatives have been considered by the development authorities as well as the central government, and they are just replicating our initiative in other states and cities also.
Thank you, Tanwar ji. I have been asked to be mindful of the time, so I will encourage anyone, if they have questions, please keep up the dialogue individually on the sidelines of this event. And as we have discussed with our esteemed panelists, let us all keep in view the significance that each of them have mentioned while striking a balance between different stakeholders, citizen-centric processes, while we are managing the complexities of urbanization. So I encourage all of you to continue this dialogue, and because this is of extreme significance to the entire country. And on behalf of the audience here, I would like to thank our panelists for sharing their views, taking out their time, and sharing their experience with all of us.
I'm having one request to the organizer. As we are talking about urbanization and gender equality and all that, our talks should not be talks, our talk should be implemented. Our talk should be in practical sense. I yesterday also told that it is a yuga of Karma Yuga. This is Karma Yuga. As the in Convergence Expo, there is kids are not allowed. That's why in next Expo, not this one, in next Expo, kindly the organizer may take a note as a request. Kindly arrange for a crochet or something, because we know urban societies are nuclear families. Urban societies are having nuclear families, and it will not give ample opportunities for women participation. Even for men also, if their counterpart wants to come to the expo, the men counterpart should be in home. That's why kindly arrange for a crochet next time. Thank you.
I'm sure they'll take heed of your suggestion. And thank you again, everyone. Have a good day ahead.